makes it fascinating is that whoever wrote this book 200 years before Christ says that the judgment of these demons, this evil seed, is going to happen in 70 generations. When is that? Well, if you go to the book of Luke, chapter 3, read the genealogy of Jesus, it goes all the way back to Adam. And of course, seventh from Adam is Enoch. And if you count all the he begat him and who begat him and all those, and you count to 70, you end up with Jesus. So whoever wrote the book of Enoch 200 years before Christ prophesied that these evil spirits would be judged during the time of Jesus. And sure enough, they were. All right? It says in Colossians 2:15 that he disarmed the principalities and powers, the rulers and the authorities. He boldly put them to public disgrace, triumphing over them in the cross. Jesus judged them. And of course, we're told in Ephesians 6 that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against rulers and authorities, these demonic forces, these principalities and powers, against cosmic powers in this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realm. That's what we're battling against. And I'm going to suggest to you that this is part of the forgotten mission of Jesus. He came to bring freedom and liberty to our souls and our spirits, freedom from darkness, freedom from the effects of evil and sin, and having authority, taking authority over these demonic spirits. So what does the Son of David mean? Because the people were amazed, and they said, could this be the Son of David? Well, if we look at the Son of David, that whole motif, especially in Matthew, we'll see that the Son of David is mentioned 4 times. Actually, there's more, but 4 times when it relates to Jesus healing or exorcising an evil spirit. 2 times it's with blind men, 2 times it's with the demon oppressed. Why? Like, what has David got to do with any of that? Well, this goes back again to the sons of God and their giant offspring, the demon seed. And remember what God said to the serpent, the sneaky snake, as my grandson would say, in Genesis 3. I'm going to put enmity between your seed and the seed of the woman. And her seed is going to crush the head of your seed. And your seed is going to bruise his heel. Where did this seed come from? Well, it came when the sons of God came down and had sex with the daughters of man. And this demon seed lived on. And it says in Genesis 6:4 that the Nephilim, these giants, were present before the flood and afterward. And I'm going to quote the NLT because it doesn't leave any room for imagination. It says, whenever the sons of God had intercourse with the daughters of men. We know that Nimrod was a giant.